I'm glad ICE is cracking down on illegal immigrants. Why? Because they're criminals. They got here by breaking the law, and then they keep committing crimes while they're here. They make all Americans less safe. Well, actually, that's just not true at all. Researchers have looked closely at this and found that undocumented immigrants have lower incarceration rates and lower criminal conviction rates than native-born Americans. So this idea that undocumented immigrants are just out there committing crimes at a higher rate is just not true. Of course, it does happen occasionally, but those cases get way overblown by right-wing media, and they don't represent a real trend. Even if you're right about that, they're still taking our jobs, dude. Why do you think no one's getting paid enough? Because some immigrant from Mexico is coming in and doing the job for less money. That's why immigrants are bad for working-class Americans. I get why you might think that, but you're wrong about that too. This has been researched a lot, and it turns out undocumented immigrants have had a positive effect on wages in the US, or possibly no effect at all, because they end up taking jobs that most US citizens don't want to do, like planting crops in the hot sun or manual labor in a slaughterhouse, which means that they put up with a lot of the toughest jobs so that American workers don't have to. And honestly, if you're worried about the working class, you should stand in solidarity with immigrants right now, because they put up with a lot of abuse from employers, like getting wages withheld or getting paid below minimum wage, because they're undocumented, which means they have less ability to fight for their own rights. That's what I'm saying. They take low wages, and that brings wages down for the rest of us. Bro, you're blaming the wrong people here. Corporations are always going to try to pay as little as they can for our labor, which means we need to band together and push for higher wages, not blame the immigrants who are getting abused by the system. This infighting in the working class is exactly what our billionaire overlords want, because it prevents us from organizing to create a mass labor movement. Okay, but even if that's true, they're still freeloading on our government. They use our schools and our healthcare and benefits without paying any taxes. That's not right. You're wrong again. Undocumented immigrants pay almost $100 billion per year in taxes, but because they're undocumented, they don't even get to sign up for the social programs that they help fund. That means they have a positive overall contribution to public finances. See, man, this is the problem with the MAGA narrative about immigrants. It's a bunch of edgy talking points that sound true, but when you actually put them all together and look at the facts, the story doesn't make any damn sense. And honestly, all that economic evidence I just shared isn't even the most important thing, because before anything else, these people are humans. They're mothers, fathers, sons, and daughters, people who came here for a better life. And we're watching heavily armed government troopers wearing masks, ripping these people out of their families' arms and throwing them into the back of unmarked vans to be brought to who knows where. If that doesn't make you worried about state violence and authoritarianism, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I guess that part's not great. But still,